Yes, the title for the video for January the 14th, 2017 is a title that I've had for a long time. Be not deceived. Yes, again, that was the name of my radio program on WTTC in Towanda, Pennsylvania a long time ago. Then, as now, I was doing my best to wake people, to warn people of the deception. It is also true that I learned that I too had been deceived. Things were not as I was taught in my evangelical fundamentalist upbringing. Perhaps the greatest deception of all is the idea that people who call themselves Jews in our day and age have zero historical or biblical lineage to Israel. They are the fake Jews who control the Western monetary system, media, education, governments, and virtually the entire world. They are modern Babylon, mother of harlots. Yes, the infamous Rothschilds and their minions have been in the background, pulling the strings through continuing deception. What will it take to finally wake us up? Just before I wrote this blurb, and I'm recording this video now, I watched a video about that very subject. And even though there's an attempt at some humor in the video, it's very serious, because if we look at the monetary system of the world, we realize that it has tentacles reaching into every aspect of our lives, regardless of whether we live in the Western world or the Eastern world or the first world or the third world or whatever you want to call the worlds that we live in. We live on the same planet called Earth, and Earth has been run by demonic elements that do not and have not had the best interest of humanity at heart. In fact, they want to eliminate the majority of the human race as just useless eaters. That's why they continue to deprive parts of the world from being able to even feed their own people, or they deprive people in the first world by trying to give them food that's been poisoned, you might say, genetically modified, which is poisoning. And they give us things like putting fluoride in our water and things that do not do us good, but they create additional problems for us, all of which cost money and fill their coffers, while at the same time deplenishing everything that is of true value in our lives and making us feel as if we are paupers on the land that we were created to live off of, and is an abundant place. Everything is provided, but it's all been poisoned and damaged by these so-called rulers who seem to be human beings. But I wonder sometimes, if they're not the demonic element that we've been warned about by other people that say, well, that's just a conspiracy theory. Everything has been conspired. The people that run the world conspire against everybody else. And thankfully, there are schisms that are appearing even in the establishment, because there's certain elements of the establishment that are fighting for control against other elements. And at the core of a lot of this is the Zionist movement. And Israel, modern Israel, has no biblical, listen to me, it has no biblical significance whatsoever. They were to remain in bondage and scattered until the one whose right it is to rule, this is biblical stuff now I'm giving you, which is the Christ, the Messiah, whatever you want to call it, until the Messiah would return and actually be in control. And I'm not talking about the Antichrist, the false Messiah. I'm talking about the one who will restore peace and who teaches love and who has the virtues on his side not the one who has the terrors on his side. The modern construct is a terror construct. It's a construct that has to continually create and finance both sides of every conflagration, every conflict that exists on the planet is undermined by the people that thrive, that literally thrive off of this horrendous and hideous game plan of theirs to rule the world with an iron fist. Or actually, they don't want to rule it with an iron fist. They want to rule it without any competition at all, without anybody trying to expose them, which is why they want to keep the brainwashed people as their servants and continue to live high on the hog. That's their thought, and it's all a deception. I will be like the Most High, Lucifer said. Well, these are Luciferians. They worship the evil entities that we've been warned about in our scriptures and in our religious things. And Buddhism, perhaps, is the most peaceful of all religions. Certainly not Judaism, certainly not Christianity, certainly not Islam. Those were the ones that came out of so-called, I want to say Western, but it really isn't Western because it's the Middle East. And it came out of that region of the world, and it's all been corrupted and it moved over into Europe primarily, except for Islam. Islam is, well, all of it's all over the world right now. So it's scattered everywhere, but it's a deception. It's a great deception that has derived its power from falsehood and robbed us of our natural inheritance to be heirs of the kingdom of heaven, if you will. But heaven is based on truth, not lies. And these are the liars. These are the deceivers. These are those who take the power for themselves and try to silence everybody that comes out and speaks the truth. And they have succeeded throughout the ages. They have succeeded by far and large in silencing any major revelation that would expose their true character, their true intent. It's all been swept under the rug and trying to hid and they masquerade themselves. They put the truth out, but they do it in such a way that it's surrounded by many falsehoods and deceptions, and you have to have tremendous intuition to be able to even see through it. And this has been going on for generations and generations and generations. I don't know how many millennia are involved. Some say 10 millennia. Others have different numbers. But whatever it's been, we're at a place where we're finally waking up. We're finally seeing the deception. Not all of us, not even the majority, but many of us are. And I'm going to continue, as long as I have breath, to seek what I do believe is true, that there is an ultimate creator behind all of this that has allowed enough rope for these deceivers to hang themselves, and they will be brought into some level of divine justice at some point in hopefully my lifetime in the relatively near future. And it does seem like, again, that there is an awakening going on, and I applaud that awakening, and I applaud all of those who are courageous enough to face the truth and admit to themselves that I've been deceived. And when we do that, we can be free. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The truth is, we've been deceived. Are you ready to admit that yet? I've been deceived, and I'm admitting it. Thank you for listening. Namaste.